welcome to National Focus. I'm Adicia Burton. In the headlines, National Security Minister warns February 7, 2017 will not be repeated in this country. Aid bank manager says loan conditions for MSMEs are not prohibitive. And Dominica welcomes newest vessel, 7 Seas Grandeur. The details of the headline stories and more when we return. Welcome back. The police has issued a warning that lawlessness and violence will not be tolerated in Roseau or elsewhere in connection with a planned meeting by the concerned citizens group. Acting Police Chief Davidson Valerie says the concerned citizens group has requested permission to hold the meeting in Roseau on Sunday, but there are indications on social media that this meeting could be a pretext for violence.
I have also received intelligence gathered from social media and other credible sources that there are threats circulated on social media by a group of people believed to be associated with the meeting to commit lawlessness and create violence during the meeting. Some of the threats are to procure gasoline to burn the city of Roseau. There is also a threat to create an island-wide blackout so as to facilitate the commission of illegal acts against persons, including the Minister of National Security.
The acting chief of police says the police is prepared to intervene to deal with anyone who engages in any form of disorder or lawlessness in the country. Minister for National Security, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore, says while the mantra of the ministry and that of government is to promote an atmosphere of peace, there are elements in our society who do not share that goal.
We all know that there's some in our mix who have been actually promoting a narrative and a drumbeat that is not promoting an environment of peace, but promoting violence and seeking to incite people to proceed on a path of lawlessness.
The National Security Minister says while government is not in the business of suppressing free expression, there are limits.
The expression of one's view freely should not be falsely construed as a right to say whatever you feel like, irrespective of the implication on the security of the state. In that regard, I'm calling on all Dominicans to avoid dancing to the drumbeat that promotes violence, and to embrace the whole idea and mantra that the Labour Party government promotes, which is one of peace and love.
The Public Order Act gives the Minister for National Security the authority to prohibit any public meeting.
I've been briefed by the Chief of Police, and I have in my possession a certain credible intelligence that speaks to the intention of some who belong to the same political party or ecosystem of the United Workers' Party. I believe that the majority of the supporters of the Workers' Party are good people and do not share the same radical view or views as those who are seeking to create an environment of lawlessness in this beautiful country. But having considered all the ramifications, I do not believe that I am inclined to invoke the said section to prohibit the public meeting.
The organizers of Sunday's meeting have been instructed by the Chief of Police to issue a statement totally denouncing any attempt by anyone attending or associated with that meeting to perpetrate violence.
We are waiting to hear that pronouncement. And the organizers of that meeting, if they fail to control any lawlessness, will be held responsible and culpable for any lawlessness manifesting on the streets of Roseau or any part of this country. Lawlessness on the streets of Roseau will not be permitted for any part of this country. We shall not have a repeat of February 7th, 2017 in this country anymore.
Dominica has warmly welcomed the newest vessel from Regent Seven Seas Cruise Fleet, Seven Seas Grandeur. The cruise ship made its inaugural call on February 22, 2024, bringing to the island a total of 730 visitors. A Dominican delegation led by Acting Minister of Tourism, Honorable Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, commemorated the ship's maiden call with an official plaque exchange ceremony with the cruise crew.
As we stand here today at the plaque exchange ceremony of the Seven Seas Grandeur, we celebrate your journey to discover the wonders of our island. I assure you that your time here will be filled with enriching experiences, heartwarming encounters, and memories that will last a lifetime. On behalf of the people of Dominica, I thank you for choosing to visit us. Your presence here contributes to our economy and strengthens our resolve to continue preserving our island's natural beauty.
Honorable Lockhart-Hippolyte warmly welcomed the captain and crew to the island and encouraged them to indulge in Dominica's natural wonders and the warm nature of the people.
As you disembark from the Seven Seas Grandeur and set foot on our island, remember that you are not just a visitor, but a part of our global family. And in Dominica, you will always find a home. Thank you, and may your stay in the beautiful nature island of the Caribbean be filled with joy, adventure, and the warmth of our Dominica hospitality.
Seven Seas Grandeur ship redefines luxury at sea with a total of 375 suites, lavish bars and lounges, and 5 exquisite restaurants. Cruise Captain Aris Merjanis says Dominica has received positive feedback from cruise passengers as a cruise destination.
I always feel, the warm welcome and the Caribbean vibe that we really enjoy to feel whenever we visit your port. And I know from our guests the very good feedback that we always have. They always love your port, and of course our crew, that they enjoy themselves whenever they visit your beautiful place.
Seven Seas Grandeur is one of the most anticipated luxury ships to set sail for 2024 and marks a milestone for tourism in Dominica. Acting Manager of Aid Bank, Ms. Mathilda John Rose, says there is no pressure on applicants for land-based security for gaining access to the Aid Bank's loan facility for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. So far, the bank has dispersed over $16 million of its $27.7 million EC dollar line of credit from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank specifically for MSMEs. Ms. John Rose says land-based security or certificate of title is only required when applicants request loans over $100,000. Ms. John Rose defined what is meant by the MSME category, the demographic targeted by this loan facility.
An MSME is a micro, small, or medium-sized enterprise. So there are criteria to define an MSME. So the point is, most businesses in Dominica are considered to be MSMEs. So you do not have to fear that you do not qualify given the size of your business. So most businesses in Dominica are qualified.
There are certain criteria which define an MSME.
If there's an industry or an enterprise and they have more than 50 employees, they're considered to be large. If you have more than 50 employees, you're considered to be large. If your annual sales is more than $750,000 annual sales of $750,000 you're considered to be large. Below that, you are in the bracket. You would be in the bracket of micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises. So the point is, if you're large scale, you employ more than 50 persons. If your annual sales is more than 750,000 US dollars. If you have investments in equipment of more than 200,000 US dollars, you consider to be large. Outside of that, you would fall under an MSME criteria, so you would be able to benefit from the facility.
The business in question must be registered.
You have to be in compliance with the Dominica Social Security, so you have to pay the your Social Security. If you have not, then we encourage you to come on board. So you go to Social Security, register, and you continue there on paying your regular contributions to Social Security, because at the end of the day, we have to empower you in the event that you are unable to continue in your business, then you know that you can fall on Social Security to sustain yourself. So you have to be compliant with Social Security and also income tax. So these are the two compliance and all the requirements. As I said, you have to be a registered business, have a registered business. We can go through all these processes with you to ensure that your business is registered, tell you what you need to do so that your business is registered and all that. And all the requirements would be the normal requirements of photo ID, proof of address, credit reports, invoices of what you need, stuff like that. So these are the other things that you would need as supporting documentation for the loan requirements.
Ms. John Rose addressed concerns often raised by potential borrowers that the loan requirements at the aid bank are usually prohibitive.
I think people need to get to the notion of aid bank is a financial institution. So it's not a social project. It's not a social product. So it's not free money. So it's not like the money is at the aid bank to be given, so to speak. It's a financial institution. We have to repay, the government of Dominica has to repay the loan to the Caribbean Development Bank. Caribbean Development Bank supervises the line of credit. So they've been here already. They came in last year, November, on the first supervision visit to see how the funds are progressing. So they were quite impressed generally that we are, the funds have been disbursed according to plan. So there are guidelines. So it's, as I said, it's not free money.
She says while the requirements to access loans are less stringent, they must be met.
The intention is that we want to encourage you to go into business, to have a sustainable business venture, you know, to go through the prudent guidelines, to have a sustainable business venture. At the end of the day, it will all go well for you and for the financial institution, that you have an enterprise that is sustainable. So the notion that it's a public sector good in the sense that it is free, let us take that out of the mind. Let us put in our mind, it is a business to be developed. It is a development bank, but at the end of the day, we have to help you develop your business. And to do that, there are requirements that we need. So don't look at the requirements. They are not stringent requirements. As I said, we can guide you through the process. Look at it with an open mind. Look at it like we want to help you develop to have a sustainable business enterprise. So when the money has been fully committed, you know that you have a facility and you have a product that you can continue, and it can continue to be a sustainable enterprise. So I think the disconnect is the understanding. It is not our intention to delay a process. It is not our intention to drag on the process. It's our intention to help you as quickly as possible, as speedily as possible. But the end result is to put you at a footing where the facility, the financial the credit will help you to grow.
Health Promotion Coordinator of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services, Mrs. Mignon Rule-Shillingford, has urged Dominicans to remain cautious over increased cases of dengue virus. She highlighted two symptoms that distinguish dengue fever.
There's also dengue. We know dengue too is another type of virus, but this one is based transmitted within a mosquito, the Aedes aegypti mosquito. And of course, because we had a lot of people around as well, and we have mosquitoes dengue, so we also saw a number of cases of dengue, right? So dengue, we know it, we call it breakbone disease. So it too causes a lot of pain, so a lot of body pain. One of the signature things about dengue that differentiates it from a lot of other conditions is the type of pain it gives you behind your eyeball. So we call it periorbital pain. So when the nurse or somebody asks you to roll your eye, you'd have a lot of pain. And then also it can also give a rash.
She called for individuals to intensify efforts and actions to control the Aedes aegypti mosquito, the main vector that transmits dengue virus.
In terms of dengue, we know it is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So one of the most significant things in the prevention of the spread of dengue is to eliminate all breeding sites and to kill all the adult mosquitoes. These are the ones that bite, suck your blood, and while doing that, inject the virus into you. Okay, so we may have a lot of garbage, and all of that right now. Let's sort our garbage properly. Let's clear all our coconut shells and our receptacles that we use during the festive season. Let us clean up our gutterings and, our drums that we store. Let's seal them properly so then we do not have breeding. And of course, let's use other things like insecticides and put net in our windows and all that. So the adult mosquitoes that ended up surviving will not bite us and spread dengue.
She says the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CAFA, alerted Caribbean states of the concerning rise in cases and outbreaks in Caribbean islands.
So in terms of dengue, we know already CAFA has sent out numerous warnings for the region that they are seeing changes in terms of how the mosquitoes are breeding and in terms of dengue. And a number of our sister islands have had outbreaks earlier on last year, including a number of deaths.
She also encouraged individuals to visit their health center or hospital for testing to determine cause of illness with the presence of the seasonal flu, COVID-19, and dengue fever.
Some persons might be getting flu and still have dengue, or some might have dengue and just have flu, you understand? And that is why we want you to come in, to your health centers, go to your physician and have yourself checked so we can know exactly what is going on happening with you, and then we can do the necessary monitoring.
According to the World Health Organization, the symptoms of dengue may include high fever, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle and joint pains, nausea, vomiting, swollen glands, rash, severe abdominal pain, persistent vomiting, rapid breathing, bleeding gums or nose. Individuals who are infected with dengue virus for the second time are at greater risk of severe dengue and should seek medical care immediately. You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, with specific responsibility for development of community agro-enterprises, Honorable Lakia Joseph, says the impact of the school's white potato program will have a profound influence on students and the community. The Division of Agriculture has donated white potato seeds to the Christian Union Primary School in support of sustainable agriculture in schools across Dominica.
The impact of the school potato program on the youth, students, the school, and the community is very profound. For the youth, it offers an opportunity to develop life skills such as responsibility, teamwork, and problem solving, while fostering an understanding and appreciation for agriculture and the environment. For the students, it enhances their learning by providing practical agricultural experiences, thereby enriching their education and potentially sparking interest in agricultural careers.
For the school, she says this project represents a sustainable model that can be replicated and scaled, promoting environmental stewardship and self-sufficiency.
For the community by extension, it strengthens community school ties, encourages community involvement in education, and contributes to local food production, enhancing food security and economic resilience. As I leave you today, the school potato program is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together to invest in our youth and our community. It embodies our commitment to education, agriculture, and sustainable development. I look forward to seeing the fruits of this project, not just in the harvest we will gather, but in the growth and development of our students and the wider community. To the Ministry of Agriculture and the schools involved in this program, thank you for your support and dedication to making this project a success. Together, we are sowing the seeds for a brighter, greener, and more sustainable future.
Under this program, the Ministry of Agriculture has mobilized over 100 white potato farmers in several agricultural regions across the country. Potato Coordinator Delroy Williams spoke of the importance of exposing the next generation to agriculture and specifically white potato production.
It is not solely because we need new entrants into agriculture, but also because we want to foster an appreciation for the crop, for the subsector, and for the agricultural industry in a whole among our entire population. Dominica will always have an agrarian base for its economy, as we need to ensure that we don't only prepare our young people for tomorrow, but we also prepare tomorrow for our young people. So as we go forward, it is indeed important that we engage as much young people across a number of secondary and primary schools to get involved in agriculture. This is why we at the Ministry and at the Division of Agriculture have taken a greater initiative this year to ensure that we support school agriculture, through educational and experimental plots.
Mr. Williams says these plots are not solely intended for production.
It is an area for engaging young persons in what we call the agricultural fun, in learning by doing, in learning by experiencing the challenges of not only the crop but also of the environment. We expect that as the crop is grown, that the teachers, the students, the principal use this environment as an area to also learn about other subject areas, including mathematics, science, environment, etc. We want the students to have fun in the school garden, and we pledge our support and our engagement to create a beautiful environment at the school.
Growing what we eat and eating what we grow is one of the ways of reducing Dominica's food import bill, and the school is a good place to start embracing that mindset.
Thus far, we have engaged and visited a number of schools, including this primary school, this Christian Union Primary School, and we are pleased with the development of the crop. The Christian Union Primary School is challenged by its land space, but however, they have been innovative in ensuring that the students can plant in what we call grow bags. And grow bags are simply any bag that you can fill up with soil and plant the potatoes in. So it could be a simple bag as a crackers bag, or you can buy a commercial grow bag, but we want our students and our general population to use what we have. So we've engaged the schools and we have provided not only the seed material, but we're also providing jute bags as well.
The ministry is also looking into providing support to schools wishing to venture into other areas utilizing the white potato.
We want to appreciate and applaud the initiative and the innovation from the schools, and we want to say that white potato production is not only for farmers, not only for schools, but it's for everyone. So, and a special thank you to a number of the schools who have come on board, and we look forward to having more schools engaged in white potato production, not only this year, but as we continue to develop the crops and the subsector. We are looking forward to not only engaging the schools in primary production, but in areas where we can also look at other things like making of fries and so forth. If the students are interested, we will also support such initiative. So once again, we want to thank you, the schools, for participating. And this year we are, just to give a little more technical background, we have provided 33 bags of seeds to the primary schools and secondary schools of the two varieties, the Desiree variety and also what we call the Spunter variety. The Spunter is a white skin potato, and the Desiree, which is more towards processing, is a red skin variety. So as we go forward, we just want to pledge our support and our continued engagement of the school. I want to thank also all schools for participating, and next year we look forward to having even more primary schools and more secondary schools on board as we develop the subsector.
Coming up next, the Creole News highlights with Jenno Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole, nom moi c'est Jenno Jacob. Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, une organisation indépendante qui a réglé Dominique, tient une consultation aujourd'hui à Gouville Parish Hall. Session entendue par stakeholders, ça c'est bon qui n'est le terrain en IRC. Nous parlons puis Macroni Joseph Louis qui a analysé finances par IRC.
Moi là pour parler avec monde, avec le public, pour dire ça nous a fait à commission là. Eve nous l'a aujourd'hui pour parler contre depreciation study. So depreciation c'est là où on est en motor vehicle. Eve ika decrease en valeur. Valeur ika descend par année. Ça yo ka qui un mot, c'est un accounting mot, qui est depreciation. So, à Domlek ni on low assets, comme generators, ini bagay ko computer, motor vehicle, tout asset yo ni building kay pour yo operate. So, c'est bitin là, il un pointeur pour nous garder qui hard c'est bitin là ka decrease en vallée.
Je connais Joseph Louis dit IRC a gardé puis électricité pour Domlek.
Pendant nous dans un tariff review, ça c'est nous avons gardé puis électricité pour Domlek. Nous n'y pour faire un lot des autres bitins pour nous déterminer puis là pour monde qui ni pour payer pour l'électricité. So ça comme ça dépréciation est important parce que c'est un expense qui non ni pour facteur dans déterminer ça puis là pour l'électricité c'est so jodi a c'est un jour nous ni papier là à sous dépréciation nous ka di public là pour mener comment yo pour IRC so IRC les détermine the prix the rates c'est asset là qui descend en vallée.
Coordinateur promotion santé Mignol Rule Chillingford a demandé Dominicien pour prendre précaution parce que maladie dengue a couru. Et des symptômes là c'est peine des yeux, un rash sous la peau et puis la fièvre. Il a demandé public là pour contrôler maïgouin Aedes aegypti qui a chaillé virus dengue. Il a demandé moun pour visiter health center yo. Et il y a un mauvais lawim qui a couru aussi. Il a créé nasty business. Il a ba moun mal tête, la fièvre, glande, rash, mal boudin et puis qu'a fait moun vomi autant. Le ministre agriculteur a distribué graines patates anglais en l'école au Dominica. Il a l'école Christian Union Primary en Goodwill graines patates anglais pour planter en lac ou l'école là en sac. Nous parlons et puis Merlin Louis, un teacher de l'école Primary Souffrière. L'école là aussi tapé graines patates anglais. Il dit initiative ça là c'est un bon bitin.
Initiative ça là ça c'est bon parce que ça nous a fait qu'on l'école qu'on teacher agriculture c'est pour encourager students pour participer en agriculture. Pas pour juste planter mais pour enjoy. Yoni pour faire part of la vie aussi nous préparer pour demain si délai pour même si OK venir teachers et bien doctors lawyers you can also participate in agriculture so you can faire agriculture part of la vie because if agriculture it can mène au loin sans agriculture nous pas que ça manger. Sans agriculture ça mène un développement dans le pays. Ça développer nous comme individuals, développer nous comme students, développer nous comme à l'école et aussi développer nous comme en nation.
Ça c'est tout à ce nouvel en créole. Non, monsieur General Jacob, au revoir.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I am Adicia Burton. Thank you for watching.